to tune into some as we get started. I believe I'll finger in my ear to production. I believe it is Only Chill versus Unfair that we're going to be watching. So fairly high up teams here, fourth seed and fifth seed. He said winners semis in my ear. It's considered okay. Semifinals is up next technically, but this is winners quarter. No, what? This is winners quarters actually. It says semis up top, but it's winners quarters, and then the next one will be winners semis. The next one will be winners finals. So we're watching winners quarters, Unfair versus Only Chill. Still best of 3, I believe, as it says on the bracket, unless it is best of 5. Listening in for production, best of 3. So it is. So best of 3 could go quick if one team not as much time to adapt and figure out as you would have later in the bracket.
No, for sure, best of 3, especially I would say that in. Okay, we're in the draft now, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say especially now since we haven't seen competitive gameplay in so long. When we're looking at these best of 3s, it genuinely can be quite easy to get a sneaky win. Even twice, with drafts that people are just not quite ready for, or quite understanding, or not knowing how to counteract them because people simply haven't been scrimming like they used to scrim. There haven't been tournaments like they used to be.
Yeah, I earlier we were mentioning that the draft and meta figuring out was kind of going to just explode once this tournament started, right? Because you're getting, not only are you getting cross-region play, but people are actually all revealing their strats to each other, which is something that was not happening before. It was only scrims, and you could tune in to see that, but people obviously weren't talking during draft. You didn't know their logic, so a lot kind of all on the table for people to figure out here. So you're going to see, though, just bans right now done, Ruckus and Bomb King. But Bizarre BK, not always something that you saw in the past. What's the change up here? I mean, is it just because he's so good at controlling one lane?
BK on Bizarre, again, as you're saying, it's not really something that I would typically think that I would see all that often, so I'm not quite sure the reasoning to ban it. Maybe it's just simply the fact that, I mean, BK has been kind of a menace lately in ranked.
Yeah.
He's definitely become a first ban pick potential in ranked as of late, after some of the changes that were made to him. And it's kind of the same aspect of Caspian, I guess. It's just that mega movement speed now that he has. So maybe it's the ability to press when you need to retreat when you need to. And I guess on Bizarre, you do have quite a few areas to kind of use the map to hide yourself, the pillars underneath, the walls on the point, and other such things like that. But they have let through the Caspian, which I think we've seen earlier on this map as well, was incredibly strong.
Yeah, it seems like, again, that mobility flank is able to get away with a lot of control. I am confused about the order of picks here. Barrick... Okay, order is inaccurate. That helps a lot. I was going to say, first pick Andrew. I just heard Rock complain about how he doesn't think Andrew is that good. in this meta.
Is as good as the Andro player is. I will always say that with Andro. But he definitely isn't now as strong as he has been in previous metas. In previous metas, it was simply, you get Andro, you know what's going to happen. He's going to click some heads. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out. But he seems to be so much easier to shut down nowadays.
Yeah, the aggressive tanks, right? I think they just kind of overwhelm him, right? They force him out. I feel like if you're looking at the matchup that you have, Bomb King is picked and banned. That is a bold decision by Unfair, but I guess you know what, they go with their name, right?
Yeah,
they ignore the rules. They are playing unfair.
If you're gonna have a name, you need to stick to it, right? So a bit of a weird one then for Only Chill, since their draft seems to be a very aggressive one. I'm not quite sure how they're going to stick to their namesake now for the remainder of the match. Interesting to see what was actually technically banned then instead of the Bomb King. But at least we get to see the Bomb King now that we'll be pushing in with the aggression. Interesting draft. They have the Barrack for control of the point. They have the Ash for consistent pressure. I guess the Ash and the Bomb King will push in aggressively to force the enemies out, and then the Andro lies in wait, pushes in afterwards, maybe when the others are less aware. But the other side, what are you pushing into?
Yeah, I really
would be thinking.
Yeah, I really don't. I feel like, I guess you try to catch the Grover, but he still can vine away. Only Chill. I feel like they have clear targets, right? They have the Bomb King that can get isolated. They have the Damba post Slither. They can catch Barrack because his movement isn't too high. Like, I feel like they have a lot of options, and I think their draft is more cohesive. The only thing that maybe seems a little off is Grover, because everyone else is going to be, clump, go in, or they're going to be kind of collapse on the same target. Grover doesn't necessarily want to be that as close. He wants to be kind of playing that mid-range, so he might be a little out of sorts. But I still feel like it seems more cohesive than Unfair too. I feel like that looks like someone took a PPL draft from 2018 and just popped it into 2022. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
100%. I think Only Chill's draft definitely is more suited to the current meta. We've seen the Grover played on this map earlier in the exact same situation, pure aggressive composition with a Grover. And again, maybe it's because the Subservience route, you have that extra healing available for everyone. The Grover doesn't have to be in too much of a negative positional placement.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I do believe we have the game ready to go. So we're heading into Bazaar. Winners quarters Unfair versus Only Chill. These two teams going up against each other. I believe it is a NAEU opposite on each side. I do not know the players on
Vocal. Oh my lord.
Okay. Invocal on Barrack too.
Yeah.
That's a callback.
Slugshot Barrack. Are we letting him aim at least? Are we letting Invocal have a little bit of aim training? What is going
Maybe.
on here?
We could hold tab. We could see the talents. Exactly what? Okay, it is Tinkerin. It is Tinkerin. Okay.
Yeah.
And then chain reaction. Royal subjects. I messed those up in my head. I don't know these. Okay, that's one that everyone seems to be running for Caspian. I don't know his talents. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah. So basically, essentially, what you want to be doing with Caspian is this talent allows you to shoot out a secondary miniature version of your Q, and they changed him recently that allows that Q to proc off of cards, and then what that does is it gives you the ability to very easily gain all of your stacks with Caspian, which just kind of allows you to... The trouble with Caspian initially was that you had to gain these stacks through fighting, but now you can just gain them through that Q, and it's much easier now to play him because of it.
Yeah, and early, we were talking about not knowing how the Bomb King was going to do, but he was the one that immediately just shredded through them, and it looks like they will be able to contest here for Only Chill, but not for long. Shredded is that ROM, and Leighton is putting on a lot of forward pressure. Azan and Grover forced to disengage Cosmic, the last one left standing by the point side. The rest will get out, but a dominant win for them. I just felt like the focus was better. The dive early, they peeled for their Bomb King, and he got to just tear apart that Caspian and Talus dive.
I think it was interesting as well what you were saying about the Barrack being able to still put out the pressure and damage on this map. Because the point is so large, you can still be aggressive whilst on the point with your point tank, which is really goes to show, as you were saying, that the Barrack is still having a lot of value.
Yeah, we'll see in the numbers after if he is really able to help them that much. But right now, already able to find Caspian on an attempted flank. And they're being surrounded, they're being pincered, but Rom just cannot stand up to this Bomb King getting the healing from his Damba right now. The front line is shifting up, Azan is dead, and Rom is a second away from just crumbling.
And the thing is, he's so far in the back that he's just getting bullied, and he's not actually even doing anything. Like, by the time he gets back in with these 5 seconds to wait for his dash, and the distance, they could have pushed this in. And this is them split as well, can I add? The Bomb King was focusing the realm in a position of which the Azan was still behind the Bomb King. So they're divided, and yet still putting more impact against the people they're fighting than people in the midst of the fight. Is quite impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive, but it looks like Only Chill were able to kind of get their feet under them again. I'm surprised they're spending this ult here. They had a big numbers disadvantage, but able to Vine Tech his way right back to spawn. Talus doesn't have a rune to get out. That's an overcommitment, and now the respawns are here. A fight that could have been good for Only Chill is suddenly turned on its head. Yeah,
the position he was in there as well, to be there without having your rune while the enemy in the positions they're in, very risky. I mean, even if he'd got a pick there, I mean, defender's advantage on picks. If he'd taken one pick, I guess it makes sense. But still, such a risky play. And he's in a bad situation here again, instantly fallen. Does he not have rune again?
Rune
there?
bound,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Does he even have that button bound? Like, he's he's dying outside of his spawn. That's unreal that he's committing so hard without having that down, or just simply not expecting the damage to come out. This is not a new, fresh composition.
Bomb King Androxys, like that is just damage. That's what they do. As well, the Realm in a really less than advantageous position there while his teammates are dying. Like there was no chance of him even touching that point to contest. It wouldn't have made a difference in the long run anyway, but you still want to see your tanks in position to touch if it were needed in that situation.
Yeah, you'd hope so, but they tried to be aggressive. Yeah, that is the Resil stack is
level 2
high.
resilience and the level 3 resilience on Androxys. I tell you this right now, level 3 resilience on a character makes Caspian near pointless. If Caspian's stun is not giving you enough time to kill, he becomes infinitely weaker. He's such a more difficult character to play once the resilience comes online. He's
too fast
on the Bomb King.
Way too fast there. They ran it down to catch him, and they're able to find up the next immediately. No Resilience 3 is going to keep him from dying to that Caspian here. And Talisol,
nice pick up from the Talis.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good staggered kill, right? I think he could have even waited longer, but I just think he didn't want to risk going right to that Bomb King, considering 100%. How quickly he would have been coming back. And great stagger on Leighton as well. Especially
to pick up the healer as well, you know? Of all the characters that you're thinking, expend a flank ult for, if you can take the healer and when he's very unsafe, I think good pick up there. No touch here, coming in from the red squad. Nice pick up from the blue team. Of course, they did have combat mechanics, so it's a little bit easier for them, but not to take anything away from them, because they really did play that very well. Maybe a misplay from the Bomb King to be aggressive, but they definitely played that round a lot better than we've seen in the first.
He was fairly far back. I just think he was underestimating the speed they came at him. I think he thought they would slow it down because of how hard he kind of rolled them the previous mid, but they came in fast, and once, and actually on the other side, Unfair coming in fast to die right now. They go to the cart, all try to stop it, slow it down so they can get their respawns and have another solid fight, and the only ult they have in hand here is the Accursed Arm coming around up top. No one really going to be able to be found with this. It's just tanks. He's trying to hold the last couple shots. Maybe that damage will open things up, but already Tarek pressuring this Bomb King pixel is dangerously low.
Oh, the real unfortunate there for the Realm. He had 2 targets all around him. They were all so low on HP, but unfortunately the targets he was choosing just kind of circumvent. If he'd gone for the Andro first, maybe he got the pickup, but I think into the Andro and Bomb King there again. It's just too much damage, even for a Realm to live.
Yeah, an overwhelming amount of damage, but the pressure from the ult is enough to give them ground to kind of reestablish, put their feet down, and get some ult charge back. Nothing in play yet for Only Chill as they start their slow push. Trapping Leighton, actually, but no one's there. Azan went for a play without a single player to support him, so Leighton able to just walk away without any issue, but it does open up the ground for this Talus to walk in. Health bars are not looking good for Unfair.
Oh no, this Realm is not having a good time. Unfortunately, dashes straight into that BK stun, and then he's just surrounded by 3 of the enemies. I mean, you're not getting out of that alive, are you?
No.
Especially when you've already used your main mechanism of escape to actually engage, and that's what's led to you being stunned in that situation.
Yeah, it's because you don't see it ahead of time, right? Like, you don't have the indicator early, so you're like, I think I can get in for this, and then literally just 100 to 0'd, and making this effectively last fight territory as they want to commit with this, though. Talisol came in to isolate that Bomb King as Invocal is getting torn apart.
That was absolutely amazing. You don't often see people committing as much as you see now from a team with 20 seconds left on the board. If they lost this now and it went to 3-1, they'd be in such a terrible position. Thankfully for them, they actually used the ults very carefully. Well, very, very well, I would say. And I guess it was only one ult they actually expended, which is the Talus ult. Already back up to 40% on that as well. But looking on the other side...
3. I think they Azaned in and they used Caspian as well to support it.
So I didn't hear it. The volume's quite low for me, so I actually didn't catch that. My apologies. But we're looking on the other side. 4 elements at the moment. Are they looking to maybe just not concede this? Sorry, to concede this point and maybe just try to defend? Because I mean, you're looking at an Ash ult, a Bomb King ult, an Andro ult. All 3 of those. The amount of pressure they provide with those ultimates. If the Bomb King doesn't make a mistake again like last time, they are in quite a tricky situation here.
I don't know. I think Romalt clears all 4.
Clears all 4?
Yeah, I think one
trade?
Yeah.
I didn't include the Realm out and the Barracle because I think both of them circumvent each other in a sense. But the other 3? The other 3?
It doesn't. We'll see what happens, but this time they're not as aggressive. He could go for this kind of right in their face. It's going to hit Azan, maybe. Turn around, Narco! He has his AirPods in! Oh, God! King Bomb! Taking him down from behind. Can't turn around in time, and that's too early for Unfair.
Again, did he not have a rune? He was on their side of the map.
I don't think he has it bound. I'm telling you.
I don't think I've actually seen him rune. Has anyone seen the map? No, I've seen him place it. Okay, there's progress. We've seen him place it now.
Will he go back? Well, does he have the one that makes it go?
Oh,
okay, he's gone back. He's gone back. Does he die anyway? Does he die anyway? There's pressure on. Actually, Bomb King instead. They're trading the Talus. Talus gets away, so it's a positive trade here.
And the Android.
Only Chill. Great positioning by Cosmic. They already lost the point, but they can clean this up and reestablish.
Nicely done. So I guess, I mean, again, to be honest with you, the position they went into that team fight with the ults that they had, you'd be a bit delusional to think you had the good chance of winning the fight. Not to be horrible, but with the team...
No, that's just real. That's just real.
It's just real life, right? With the ults they had available, you should be going into that thinking we're probably not going to win this. They've lost the point fight, to be expected, but they've done a great job of cleaning them up now. If they do have a good defense here, and they save their ults for themselves for the next round, as long as they save ults now, they are within a good chance still of picking up this game.
Yeah, but if they keep it all locked in, they definitely can here. Oof! Love that cancel there on the pillars. Resilience lets them stay alive, but Leighton lives and keeps the space held down, and also gets Tarek down to
That's
one
what's important
pixel.
right now for them.
Wants the chase, but he can't get it because of the Blossom.
Getting a little bit of push here. This is exactly what I was speaking about earlier with Ash. It's why it's one of Ash's best maps. Her ability to push in super aggressive, and the amount of pillars that allow for that ult tech is just everywhere on this map. There's so many places that Ash can get an insta bounce ult, and it's so impactful in this game. Do they know she's there? Okay, good. Oh my god, I thought we were just gonna have the most blind push of our Paladins' existence here.
Oh, listen, I have one recorded from PCML qualifiers. The whole entire length of Ice Mines. We've seen it all. Bazaar is a little different. It's a little, you can see the car a lot easier. The card a lot easier. There's no way that would have happened, but rotation in right now from Unfair. Already Leighton taking that side space, and Invocal going on his own into a few might actually get pretty low here, but Leighton is taking some of the pressure off of him with his push on the other side, and Only Chill answering now with an aggressive dash in from Tarek.
Oh, they lose the round here quite easily, but they trade it out for the Androctus actually. That's quite a nice trade. I know it's a big pressure from the tank to lose that, but the Androctus has been playing absolutely lights out this game, so to trade the two of them out, probably not the worst. I would assume the Realm has a high level of master riding, given the amount of pressure that's been put on him this game, so him being back, and again, defense trades, they're always valuable for you.
None. Not an ounce. Nary a crumb of master riding on that ROM.
Oh, that's very interesting. If that was me playing that and the amount of time I'd been...
Dead.
Yeah, dead. I think I'd be playing a master riding game.
Actually, he's only got 6 deaths. He's about dead even with the I think it just feels bad.
It just feels it, yeah. Okay, maybe we're misinterpreting. I think maybe we've just seen it each time he's gone in and died. Then sometimes you can get a warped view, unfortunately, just because of the information you're shown from the stream. But they're not looking too bad. 65% ult charge on the Caspian. Caspian charges ult relatively quick, so that's not the most impactful thing to not have that, especially now they've picked up a morale boost on that as well. The Grover ult not being available again.
This late in the game,
but it's still it charges up kind of fast, I guess. I'd like to see a lot of aggression from red team here because I think they're going to need to use it. Maybe an ult here from Azan. Fantastic. Oh no!
Honestly, the tracking by Invocal pretty sick there, following him up to the top as Nardco teleports to get out of the Ash ult. He's 100 HP. Leighton is chasing him. It's like a horror movie as he doesn't get away. Leighton follows him all the way through, and that wasted a lot of time. They have only the ROM in the back line. If they stop them in front, the rest can probably burn ROM. He's doing the Accursed Arm ready from Avaleo to blast them as they try to go through that choke point.
Ash kind of alone here, though. She's going to have to retreat with those 3 looking her down. Oh, he got another ult. The ult didn't actually proc. Oh, my lord. So we got a touch off the back end of that ult. Not going to do too much with it, though, because the Accursed Arm comes straight out and burns him down. This Caspian needs to do something special here on this Androctus, and he does it! Picks up traded off the back end of the Talus. Oh, my lord. This is not what you want. A Caspian pushing in this aggressive is not what you want, and that is why they've just lost the healer.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him in time. Bomb King got what he needed to. Invocal is buying so much time on point. They might actually trade out Rom for this. It's 1-for-1, 3 versus 3 on point here. Narco is doing an insane amount of damage with the Whirlwind. Going to heal them back up as Invocal is dashing, dancing around, trying to keep himself going. There's one trade, though. It's positive for them. It's a 1-for-1 again. Avaleo still here with Invocal. Also still alive, back to half HP with Damba. Back now is on, has to kite away, but they're both going to find him. Unfair, regains control. Cosmic wants to come in, but Grover gets stunned. Cheating makes it the Rom is backbeats.
That's just absolutely insane. Every single, like, the minimal amount of play that's going on in terms of, like, everything is just absolutely picture perfect as to what needs to happen for each individual team, and it's just trading backwards and forwards so perfectly there. That was an amazing finish to that game.
Yeah, wow. What a tightrope finish on Invocal and Avaleo, heroes of that final mid. They tucked their way around the corner. Invocal lived with a pixel of health, and the tanks on the side of Only Chill didn't. They could not survive because they don't have that just slippery factor that Barrack has. And just not having that, trying to focus on the subservience, healing on Rom, right? The cauterize makes that kind of worse by the end. I think Unfair's comp scaled really well there into the late game.